All right guys, so let's say you were out, you just cleaned your bike, got the chain, or sorry, let's say you just got the bike. Let's say you just bought your motorcycle, or you just bought that fresh new motorcycle off of Facebook Marketplace, or you bought one off of some dealership, or let's say you bought it off of whatever. You got a new bike and you're awesome, put some miles on it, it's clean, it's brand new, it's fresh, and you're so excited. The forecast looks clear and you're gonna ride away. You ride, and let's say, boom, you put 500 miles on. You want to break this thing in, or you love this bike so much, you've been riding all day, you put 500 miles on. And on your way home, guess what? It starts raining. Oh man, I was not expecting it to rain, the forecast was clear. So now your bike is covered in rain, and you put 500 miles on your bike, park in your garage, coming down the next day, and there are watermarks everywhere. It's just dirty, and you are like, man, my bike is nasty looking, there's water spots everywhere. There's just caked dirt everywhere. Man, I just got this thing. How do I clean my bike? And one thing I want to touch on before I do that is your chain. You can tell too. I don't know if you see on this camera here. There's a lot of little watermarks down here. I am that circumstance. I was caught up in the rain. It said it wasn't gonna rain all day. And then right at the end, right when I was leaving work, it decided to rain. Barely missed the rain, and it sucked. It was just, yeah, it's just an unfortunate circumstance. And guess what? You're gonna try to avoid the rain. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You are gonna try to avoid the rain as much as you can. Eventually you're gonna get rained on. That point being, when it rains, you get this caked dirt on here, but also when it rains, your chain gets a little dirtier faster. So the last time I cleaned my chain was about 300 miles ago. And I recommend a chain cleaning just personally and just from other resources as a chain cleaning every 500 miles. And that is 100% true. I would 100% every 500 miles clean your chain. Unless you have been riding around the dirt, you've been riding around in gravel for some reason. The rain too, you just got a lot of moisture up there, there's a lot of dirt getting mud and just oil stuff from the road. Everything's getting, all the grime from the road is getting kicked up in your chain more because the pavement is wet. It's gonna kick up into your chain. So you could clean your bike, clean the chain, and then if you get stuck on a nice rainy day, or a couple of them, then I would recommend cleaning your chain. Which in this video, I'm going to recommend. I know other people say otherwise, and that's okay if you do it the other way, but I like to clean the chain first. I'll clean my chain, and then I will clean the motorcycle itself, which I will talk about both in this video. First up, cleaning your chain. You're gonna need a stand. You can use a rear stand. You're gonna need some spools here. I mean, for me at least, my swing arms here, there's a spool for, they both kind of screw into there, and then you're gonna get like a rear stand where you just mount it up, and then basically your bike's gonna be able to, this wheel, this tire right here is gonna be able to spin freely. Assuming you're in neutral, you have to be in neutral. You don't want to hold the clutch in every time you're spinning the wheel, which I'll demonstrate for you. You don't need a center stand. You can use a center stand. I don't have a center stand, but the rear stand works just fine. So you have those, and then these are what I use. I usually get 2 buckets, so if we're cleaning, right after we're cleaning the chain, you don't always have to clean after you clean your chain. I'm just doing this instance because it was stuck in the rain and it's a little dirty. So what we're gonna need is 2 buckets. I already have one with some water in it. So the 2 buckets, so the first bucket is gonna be for the chain cleaning. Anyone who lives in a house, you have running water, you don't need the second bucket. You can just use your hose, whatever. Or you can even get a spray bottle and fill the spray bottle up and spray the chain just to rinse it after we're done cleaning it, but we'll get to that step in a little bit. This one is mainly for chain. This one is 100% for the chain. And I don't want to mix the two because there's stuff in here that I don't want getting onto the paint by any chance onto the bike, because I'm going to use this one right here for cleaning the actual motorcycle, which we'll get to. This awesome device, which you can pick up any like motorcycle store or shop, whatever. They're everywhere and they're awesome. Just take good care of them. And then I usually have, this is the one I use. You can use any of the chain cleanups. This one I definitely recommend. It's awesome. Chain cleaner. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Chain cleaner. I don't have the nozzle for this one. It's just a nice little spray. And then we have the actual chain wax, which we will do after the chain cleaning. Chain lube. We have these 2 things. We have the brush and we have the bucket. I also recommend using a couple, having like a shop towel or something handy. And then I have some of these extra towels I use here, because when you are cleaning the chain, you'll see it starts dripping. You can see some from my old ones. It'll start dripping the residue down, and it's actually starting to clean the chain, obviously, or the wax will drip down on the towel. And you don't want to get on your pavement, you don't want to get on your driveway, obviously depending where you're at. But there's also parts that I'd like to cover as well. As you'll see, when you are cleaning the chain, there's a lot of components nearby that you really don't want to get wax on. You don't really want to get the cleaner on as well. Kind of like, I don't want it to really touch the rims over here, especially if I go down here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. I don't want to spray it down into all these little components down here. And when I'm cleaning a chain, I don't want it to hit those lovely little exhaust pipes down there. And then especially by like my kickstand here, there's a few spots I don't want them to really, I don't want all that wax and the clean air to really get into. So you'll see I cover that up. This isn't from me, just so you know. I live in an apartment, so this could be from anybody. Just a disclaimer, I don't want you guys thinking I'm over here just free balling it. I'm gonna get my rear stand, I'm gonna get the spools, I'm gonna show you guys what that looks like. And then I'll show you how I kind of lay everything out, and then the procedure. All right, so got my spools here. You can, depending on your bike, this might be different. For me, this is what I need the spools here. I'm gonna connect them into there. The swing arms themselves, using this 8mm Allen wrench, is what the stand looks like. And I'll show you guys how to do that in a little bit. All right, so we got the first one in there. You tell this is supposed to spin, but the screw's not going anywhere. Like, it's not wiggling side to side. That's what we want. That first one in, we'll get the second one in. I'll show you how we get that mounted. All right, so this guy's in here. See? So again, just like the other one, there's some free play this way, but it's not gonna wiggle side to side. Everything looks good. So we have these two. Now, you can, if you want to, if you have like the, if you're able to lock this actually in here, lock the actual spool into the swing arm, you can just leave them in there. I keep mine out. I just like the way it looks without them. Always looks kind of funny. These are the same ones I have for my 450. But yeah, you can leave them in here as you're riding, or you can take them out. Either way, these are what you need to actually get the rear tire up. All right, so for the stand, we're gonna kind of, if you need help, you need a second person, you can always use a second person to help actually, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna essentially grab these guys. So this stand is the track side stand. It's really good. You can adjust it as needed right here. You can, you know, I can't remember what millimeter is for, but you basically just loosen it up and you can slide this however you need, because you're gonna put these two prongs, you're gonna actually put the inside of the spool between these right here and adjust as needed for the width of the bike. This one's already set. I already have it done. I've done it before, and I'll show you how we do that. So you basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of like lock this up. So you're gonna have, basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna have this kind of lock it in here. So there's gonna be this little mechanism in here, lock it in there. It doesn't go anywhere unless you do that. But when you're pulling out this way, it doesn't do anything. It's stuck. It's not gonna go down anyway. You're gonna basically have these right here. You're gonna tilt this like this with the actual spool. So we're gonna move it forward a little bit, like that, right? And you're gonna have just like this, just right in the spool, like that. This one isn't quite there yet because the bike is on its kickstand, which, as a disclaimer as well, leave your kickstand down, okay, obviously, but I usually leave my kickstand out even when it's already mounted. You can move it up if you want to, but I leave it down just for the sake of getting to the chain. You can clean it a little bit, it's more thorough. And that way, when you do put the mount back down, your bike doesn't fall over. It's not because you forgot, because you just left your kickstand down. You're gonna push that down, and as you center the bike, the spool down here is gonna line up. I recommend keeping a hand like this on your bike, like on the actual bike. Like, don't like kind of half butt it like somewhere like this or some horrible spot. You wanna actually get a good grip on your bike, because it's gonna start to lean that way, and the last thing you want is it to slip through that spool, and then your bike falls the other way. All right, guys, so that's what that looks like. See? So now it's in the actual spool right there. Switch over to this side. It's in the spool. As I'm doing it, I'm paying attention to that. And once that's in the actual spool right there and it's lined up, the bike's gonna just kind of center itself. And you know you're good. You can kind of push it down. I always go slow down, nice and easy. Just precaution, I guess, at this point. So, but now you have your bike mounted up. If you did it right, you're already in neutral. If not, switch it to neutral. But now you should be able to just spin it. It's like this, assuming your bike's in neutral. If your bike's not in neutral, you can always just power it on real quick and then switch it to neutral, and then there you go. So now everything should spin freely, just like this. You should be able to spin the tire freely like this. Is getting everything laid out so you don't create a mess. I'll lay it out for you guys and I'll show you where I lay through things strategically. I won't make you have to watch me lay them out like that. So. All right, guys, so you can tell everything's laid out. So I have this towel strained out over here, basically anything that drips down from the chain will drip onto the towel. Here might hit this part of the tire a little bit, but I'm not concerned about that part. I'm more concerned about here, the actual back right here. You can tell I put a towel there, and I recommend getting something a little thinner than this towel that I have right now, because sometimes it can catch it or it'll slightly rub against the towel. Not a big deal, especially as you're cleaning, you're working with two hands, you can kind of keep the towel back like this as you're cleaning it or scrubbing it. I have an actual shop towel that I put right over the exhaust, so it's over the exhaust pipes. I don't want to splatter those up, and any parts you really just don't want to get any of the residue from, because it's gonna, when you're brushing it, it's gonna inevitably come back up. Yeah, so you see the back there, I even got the actual slip part of the exhaust covered up as well, and all the way to the side out here, way past where the chain ends. So everything's covered, everything's ready to go. So the first part we're gonna do, and I would recommend, by the way, on a cold chain, you make sure your chain's like nice and cold. My chain's very cold. I haven't rode today at all. I've been editing and doing household stuff. So this chain is ready to go. I use this, the instructions are on the back if you're, curious as to what they say. Basically just saying, chain should be cold. You're gonna spray the entire area, let it stand for 60 seconds. Then you're gonna use a soft brush, which we have this right here, ready to go. And we're basically gonna scrub it all up. And then it says rinse thoroughly with a steady stream of cold water. Obviously, again, I live in an apartment. I don't have access to a stream of water like that. I don't have a hose. So that's why I have the bucket of water. It's not as efficient, but it definitely gets the job done still. I've done this many times before. My chains have held up fine. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys enough of an angle as I can here. So you're gonna spray it. So give a nice spray. I recommend when you do spray, you can kind of just spray the outside here along this part and up top here. And that's where the brush kind of comes into play. So you'll see what we do. So basically we're gonna take the tire here, we're gonna grab the tire with our right hand, and then we're gonna use our left hand, tire right hand, spray left hand, and you're just gonna let it spray here like this. Give like a nice spray. This, I'm kind of diagonal right now, so I can hit both at the same time. So basically you're just gonna let that spray, it's gonna start dripping, you'll see. So we should be getting to the end here. Yep, so we sprayed that out, cool. The entire chain is covered and it's cleaned out. I'm gonna move the towel a little bit this way. I don't care if it drips on my hands. So it kind of dripped out that way, but now the whole chain is basically covered. There's no harm in using more. So if you want to, you can kind of go this way. Guys, it has been a minute, a little over. So now what I'll do is I'll take my actual brush, so this guy right here, and I will scrub away. Just give a nice scrub. So. Like this, we are going. So again, right hand on the tire, we're just slowly moving it around here. Just gonna loosen all that up. Cool, so then we pushed in with our thumb like this, we pushed down with that. So now I kind of, with my index finger like this, I don't know if you guys can see it, I push up as I'm scrubbing. Chain cleaning isn't tough. You can see all that splatter. I don't know if you can see it maybe, but I can, but there's a lot of splatter coming up on that shop towel that'd be hitting my exhaust normally. All right, cool. So now that we have that all done, got all the scrubbing done with the cleaner on it. This is our brush. This is where the bucket of water comes into play. I'll dump it in here. You'll see the water get kind of dirty. There's like a catch, like a little tray that I know Chemical Guys has it. It's a catch where it'll collect all like the grime and dirt. It'll kind of catch all that, so you don't have all that, like the hard pieces sitting on it on the actual brush. But for this instance, it should be fine. It only saw one rainfall, and I know I wanted to clean. I like having a clean chain, just peace of mind. So we'll take this just like this, and then we're going to apply it to the chain. So we're basically just going to go like this. So you can see it's not a steady stream of water, right? It's not, but it is dripping, and it is getting rid of all the stuff that we just put on there. So it's going to be a little bit more effort, and that's okay, than just a stream of water. Again, I live in an apartment. I don't have access to a stream of water. I'm not gonna go drive out somewhere every time I need to clean my chain. Chain needs to be cool anyways. So this is what I do, this is what I make do with, and it's been working for me. So I'm gonna basically finish scrubbing the rest of the train. Basically I'm gonna finish scrubbing the rest of the chain with some water on the brush, and then we'll hit the wax, and I'll show you guys how we clean that up. All right, so that is it. So we clean the chain. So the chain is clean. You can tell there's some drippage, right? But that's just the water rinsing out all the dirt. So what I do, because again, I don't have a steady stream of water, which again, you can, and I probably will in the future, is I'm probably gonna do, is I'm gonna grab a spray bottle of some sort that I can stream, fill that up with water, and spray it as I go. And then that'll probably be a little more efficient. But this works just the same. Gets all the dirt, a bunch of the drippage will stop, because all the water's running off of it. But you can tell, it's definitely a little dirty, but it wasn't too bad. I've definitely had it worse. But yeah, so now we're just gonna wait. So what I like to do is I like to wait for the dripping to kind of stop, let the water fall off of it. Just me, you don't have to. It's gonna wait a little bit, and then we're gonna apply the wax, and I'll show you guys how that's done. So usually what I'll do is I'll usually clean up the actual bucket, because I won't need the water anymore. I'll clean up the brush as well. We don't need the brush. Dripping's pretty much done. It's ready to go. Chain looks really good. It looks really clean, at least for my eyes. Maybe it may not look like it on the camera, but to me it looks good. So now we have the actual chain wax that we're gonna put on it. So this comes with a little nozzle, and it has instructions just like the other one. And it even says it wants you to actually rotate that way. So you want the chain to go the same way that we've been going the entire time. I don't know if you guys can read it from there. Saying, hey, rotate that way. So we're gonna do the same way. Right hand, we're gonna pull down on the actual tire and spray as we're going. So there's a fine stream of wax, and then we're gonna let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes afterward. So I've done this before, just kind of explaining it so that you guys know what to kind of expect. We hook that in there, it's ready to go. Left hand right here, right hand's on the tire, and we're gonna pull down as we go like this, and per the instructions, it wants you to spray right on the inside of the chain, not on the side. It doesn't want like some weird upward, definitely don't do that. Just right downward like this on the inside of the chain. So we're gonna just do one fine stream right around it. All right, so that should be it. Wax is all up in there. It looks good. This looks really good actually. We gotta let it sit for 10-15 minutes. So we'll let that happen, and then I will show you guys how we kind of finish it up, and then we'll go from there. All right, I do want to note too, guys, so while the wax is setting, the only towel I leave here, because I'll start cleaning up, the only towel I leave here is the one on the ground, because the wax is still going to drip. And you can see where I'm talking about, so the wax is all here. When I was spraying downward, it was coming off over here. Put down the towel, don't put it on the pavement. But I'll clean up the shop towel there, I'll grab the towel back there, I'll grab this rag right here. Basically just start cleaning up. This is basically, it's efficient. So just start cleaning as you go, and remember, you want this guy to be down still. So while you're cleaning, maybe you bumped it around and it's doing kind of like this. You want to make sure that your stand is out like this. You can't go anywhere else. Trust me, it's going to save you a lot of heartache. I've seen videos of people drop their bike because they put the actual stand back down, and as it was going down, the kickstand wasn't down, so it went to go over, it just fell right over. So trust me, it's going to save you a lot of heartache. It's going to save you a little cry. It's going to save you the scratches and everything too. So yeah, take this time to clean, and also take this time to get any of the cleaning materials, because that's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to start to actually clean this bike, and we're going to do it apartment style. We don't have a stream of water, so we're going to do it apartment style, which is a little different. And I'm sure I'm going to get judged for it, but for me, it works, and I have no complaints about it too. So again, a lot of people argue you clean the bike first and then the chain, because the dirt will drip into the chain, which is true, but at the same time, there's these guards here. And if you wanted to, you could also, after waxing your chain, you could lay like a towel over your chain, which sometimes I'll do. You could lay a towel over your chain as you're cleaning, so the grime doesn't get messed up in there. Obviously, you want to wait for the wax to settle, which I'll probably do. I'm sure I'll get a couple shop towels, I'll lay it over the chain, or I'll grab some of these rags here, or different rags, lay it over the chain, and then I'll clean it. You could argue too that if you wash your bike first and then you start cleaning your chain, you're gonna get a bunch of grime in the spots you just cleaned, and it's gonna get into different components that you just cleaned, you just put water and soap over. You can argue that. Both are great. I mean, you guys can leave me down in the comments like what you guys do first and why you do it. Maybe I'll adjust my chain cleaning routine, but this is just what I do for now. It's been working. Any newbies, this is what I do, and it works just fine for me. I've had no problems with my chain. It's been just fine. So I'll show you how to take off the stand and everything, and then we'll go from there. All right, so now that the chain is all good to go, Chain's waxed up. We let it sit. I let it sit a little bit longer. I had some buddies come over, just was talking for them a little bit. It was good timing because the chain's not cleaned up. And it's waxed, it's ready to go. So we're gonna remove this towel. It's good, it's not dripping anymore. We're definitely ready to go. Again, remember you wanna verify that your kickstand is all the way out that way. You don't want it kind of half right there. You don't want it just kind of sitting like that. You want it out like that. Everything looks good. You know, the exhaust looks good too. There's nothing weird on the actual tire component there, on these parts I wanted up here. And it's ready to go. So we're gonna remove the towel, and then we are going to remove the stand, and at the same time, we're gonna keep our hand locked again right here. As I'm moving this right here back up toward me, the bike's wanna lean, I'm gonna kind of pull a little toward me. Again, verifying that the kickstand is down. Cannot stress that enough. We'll do that, we'll remove the spools, and then, yeah, then we'll get the cleaning. All right, now as you can tell, everything's good. The kickstand was down, it's not limped at all, it didn't fall over. Everything looks good, just the way it needs to be. Now we're going to take our spools off, and we'll get to washing. Alright, so we got both these off. You can leave yours on. Obviously, if you have something to kind of brace it toward the back so it doesn't slide out. But other than that, these are off. We get the thing ready for the wash. Go through that with you guys. So everything's good. Chain's good. Get the towel moved up. Everything's ready to go. Now to clean it, straight to the point. Got a bucket of water here. This is the one I use for cleaning motorcycle. Use it for my car back in the day, back when I had a fancier car. Switch over to bike life. So again, apartment, I don't have an open source water like that, so I have the actual sponge here, and I have the bucket of water here. So what I normally do is I'll grab the bucket of water, which is about room temperature. I think you're pretty much safe with room temperature. I don't want it too hot, I don't want it cold, but nice and room temperature. I usually wet the sponge like this, so it's like sopping, so it's dripping like this. And then what I'll do is I'll squeeze on top of the tank, I'll squeeze on top of like the actual, like the front of it, just to get water running over there. Now, what you can do, if you are paranoid about your chain with water getting on it, what you can do is if any open areas like this, you can take a shop towel like that, and you can kind of like tuck it in, or even like a regular rag so there's no pieces left over. Anything that doesn't rip apart with moisture, something that kind of holds its composure even when it gets wet, just tuck it in there. I have a guard right here, it should be fine. Again, the water dripping on it isn't like when rain hits and the water splashing all the way up. It's a simple drip down kind of thing, so you'll see what I'm talking about. All right, so just do this, and then you just kind of like, boop, just like this. Give it a nice squeeze. And there you go, just like that. And just squeeze literally all over it. You want to get all these components wet. You want to basically get the bike wet. You want to kind of, just like a car, you want to loosen up all the dirt, the grime, especially if it rained and you're cleaning it after a rain, a couple rainfalls or whatever. Then yeah, you want to make sure like you're getting every little piece of dirt wiped up and ready to go. All right, so you can see right here, got some, got it all watered up. There's water just sitting on the bike right now. It's not hot. Again, I wouldn't recommend doing this in direct sunlight, just like you're cleaning a car pretty much. It's essentially the same thing, just a lot smaller. Don't be afraid to be, just let the water drip, let it hit some things, it's okay. Get the pegs, get the passenger pegs, like get some of the swing arm here, like don't be shy. It's a motorcycle, it's meant to withstand a lot of the outside elements, and a little bit of water that you're pressing on a sponge and downward is not gonna hurt it. So see, I got over here, especially in the front right here, the bug splats kind of happen, on the top of the mirrors, with the screen, everything. You can see I wasn't like, I'm not like, oh, I just went over the top and that's it. I even hit like this piece right here. And again, I'm not really noticing any water really hit the chain, so I don't know. I guess it's just my bike maybe. So hit this, everything's good. There's water, it's loosened up the dirt. Now we're gonna get some soap, and I'll show you which one I use and everything like that too. So the thing I don't do is I don't go on top here. I guess I wouldn't do it personally, just for me, is I don't go like here, right where the key, the ignition is or anything like that. Usually I'll wipe this down with like a shop towel, and I have like another cleaner that I'll show you too. I kind of just wipe it down really quick. It's nothing too crazy. The screen and the mirrors, I use something else, but I'll get the soap and water and I'll show you what soap I use. All right, we got our bucket of water and soap. Again, room temperature, lukewarm water, very moderate, not too hot, not too cold. This is the soap I use. So this one, let's see, so first of all, I've had this one since I had my black Mustang. That's why I got a black soap. And I've always been very nice about cleaning my vehicles. So This is just the leftover one that I have from then. I'm basically using it till I run out. It's fine. I've had 0 issues with it. Didn't mess up my 450, and it's not messing up my 675. So far it's working really well, and I've had this forever. So as you know, a motorcycle doesn't need a lot of soap. So you know, and feel free to drop in the comments too what you guys use as well, or any ones that you recommend, because I'm getting pretty low on this one, and I don't want to keep buying this big thing if I don't need to. So yeah, got that there. That's what I use. This is the mitt that I use to wash. We'll be using that. And then I got my microfiber here, so I'd recommend getting a big microfiber, and I have a shop towel down. You don't want to set these down, otherwise the microfiber is going to catch little pebbles. If you're any kind of car enthusiast or motorcycle enthusiast, whatever, you know, don't let your microfiber touch the ground because it picks up rocks. Same with my sponge here. I still have it sitting here because we're going to use that to rinse. So now what I'm going to do is basically do the same thing I did with the sponge. I wring it out, except I'm just going to wipe it down just like you normally would in a car. Don't be afraid to hit certain areas like down here and there. Don't be afraid to hit up top right here. Hit your pegs. Obviously don't go inside your exhaust. You can go on top if you want. Different parts of the actual bike, 100% hit. So basically everywhere there's heat water is where I'm gonna put the soap on. Don't be afraid to hit your guys' rims too. You know, like a nice little like round here. Don't be afraid to hit those. Just be careful with the little components you might have. But you can hit your rims a little bit. It's not gonna hurt. I would recommend doing the rims last though. All right. Okay, guys. You can go over a few times. So normally I'll go over it a few times. I'll do that. And then I basically take that bucket of water. I'll pour it out, and then I will rinse it off with that towel. Or that sponge. I'll basically wring out the sponge, just gonna rinse it essentially. It's a lot of water. And then we'll hit that microfiber any of the spots I missed. All right, got the bucket of water here. So now we're going to, see, no pebbles on there because we made sure we didn't touch the ground. Get nice and wet. And I put a lot of water because we're gonna need it. Like this. You go like this, it's gonna wring all that soap. Because if it dries on there, that's fine, because this water is gonna get all that soap off of it. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna dry it. So I'll see you guys then. All right, another thing too is when you are doing this, keep your handlebar straight. Like, you don't want to lean it because you want to be able to clean. It's just something little, but you want to be able to clean that side too. You want to make sure you want to get underneath here, because if your handlebars are turned, or even the other way, which I don't know why, but if they're turned in, you want to make sure that you can get underneath it. Where the soap is, I will see with the CFMOTO. Oh no, some of the water can get trapped underneath here, like you can't really get in there. Everything is looking pretty good. It just basically looks like how we did before, except it's a little smoother, so cleaner. All the smudge marks are off. See down here as well, maybe not so much because it's darker, but it's a lot cleaner. It's a lot cleaner looking. So now, with the microfiber that did not touch the ground at all, it's touching the cloth or the shop towel, we're going to dry it off, just like normal. So we're going to dry it all off. And I'll start from top to bottom. After that, all we have to really do is just clean the screen and the mirrors, which I like to do. The glass itself, I use this. It's chemical, guys, again. It's just a glass cleaner. Streak-free formula, whatever. Another thing that would help you dry as well is if you just take a nice little spin around, go around your block or something, just get some airflow. Don't go crazy. You can if you want right after. All right, so when you are wiping, just real quick, I know it's really dark, you can't really see. When you're wiping down the mirrors, you're wiping down the screen, usually I'll do is like the wet part of the glass part. I'll kind of like wipe little areas down here. Nothing crazy, or you know, nothing crazy. I'll just kind of wipe them down, kind of like any areas that are wet, maybe a little dusty that don't get touched, like there. I'll get the inside of the windscreen as well. But it's basically just like cleaning up a little bit around here. Don't like coat the dang thing in glass cleaner, okay? But just a little wipe down, something nice. You don't want to too much wipe down and then your throttle or it's too slippery or a button slippery or something. You don't want to do that. So just a nice little quick wipe down, nothing crazy. Guys, that's pretty much it. Got a clean chain, got a clean bike. If you didn't know how to clean your bike or clean your chain or anything, after this video, you should know. So, and if you guys have any other questions or concerns or I'm doing something wrong or suggestions, feel free to leave them down as well. Feel free to subscribe, and if you just like the video, feel free to leave a like. If you have any comments or anything, feel free to drop them down below. Other than that, I have nothing else for you. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or start to your day, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.